Nicole, why didn't he tell me? Why didn't Draper tell me he was leaving today?
Well, that's why I came over this morning. He just found out last night.
Why'd it have to be so soon? I mean, why couldn't they wait?
Look, April, it's the law, that's all. In cases like this, I mean, after all, it was a conviction for homicide. They impose a sentence right away.
What were they afraid of? That he was going to go kill somebody else, or that he was going to run away?
You know what makes me really angry is that they didn't give him time to really say goodbye.
Well, it was something about the train, and apparently there's just terrible weather upstate, and all the schedules had to be changed.
Oh, wow, they really have to stick to their schedules.
I should have guessed it. I should have realized what the train meant.
Why? What do you mean?
The train, in my dream, the whistle. I should have realized that it was the sound of the train that was going to take Draper away from me.
April, listen to me. That train travels two ways. And with any luck at all, it will bring Draper back home again very, very soon.
Miles, what happened was almost exactly what happened in my dream.
What do you mean?
Well, the man in the room. Well, I told you about Sam Dwyer, didn't I?
Yeah, you told me about Dwyer. He's the one that showed up in the courtroom every day.
Every time I saw this man in the courtroom, I was frightened, and I didn't know why until I understood that he was the man of my dream.
April, you could have put anybody's face on that dream figure.
Miles, I know he was the man in the dream. And now I understand what it all meant. The man, the train whistle, and the silver bracelet. You don't have to look so worried. I'm not going to start having those dreams again, telling the future in my sleep. This dream wasn't all that accurate.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you realize that now.
I'll tell you what I do remember very strongly is the feeling I had in the dream. I knew that the man in the room was sympathetic somehow.
Well, he probably wasn't very happy about what he had to do.
No, he wasn't. I know he wasn't. He was miserable putting those handcuffs on Draper. My God, I never thought I'd ever live to see the day handcuffs on.
Don't dwell on it. Okay?
Silver bracelet, that's the way I saw it. I saw the handcuffs as a silver bracelet, as a gift.
Well, you're the one who's insisting it's some kind of a symbol. Symbols are hard to understand.
This symbol is pretty obvious.
Yeah, but why do I see it as a gift? I mean, a gift is supposed to be something you do for someone, something you give as an act of charity.
Don't worry about it anymore. The dream is just not important. The only thing that's really important now is reality.
Oh, yes, you're right. You are absolutely right. My reality happens to be that my husband is on a train heading for prison, and I don't know when I'm going to see him again.
Listen, you're going to see him soon. It's just as soon as you can travel, you can go upstate.
Visiting hours are every Sunday at 1. We can all go up together as soon as you're able.
And that is going to be my reality. Visiting my husband on Sundays, waiting for my daughter to get old enough so she can come with me to visit her daddy. Her father will be a person she sees once a week, dressed up in a prison uniform, in a room with a whole bunch of other men dressed the same way. Do you have any idea the impression that she's going to have of Draper, her own father?
Don't torment yourself.
I'm only thinking of reality, Nicole.
Well, that wasn't the reality I was talking about. What I meant was a very real possibility that the police will come up with a solution to this crime.
That's right. You were so excited about that this morning. The same thing. Steve and Deborah's new theory.
Nicole, I was excited about it. But that was a theory. The reality is that my husband is on that train now. He's on his way to prison. How am I going to do it? How am I going to go to sleep at night knowing where Draper's sleeping? How am I going to wake up in the morning, alone, in an empty bed, in an empty house, an empty life?
You know, this would all make a whole lot more sense if we knew what we were looking for.
Keep an open mind, Calvin. Remember, the first principle of a smart investigator is an open mind.
Yeah, but the place has been searched already. I mean, every inch of this apartment has been gone over and examined for something, or at least dusted for prints.
That's because they were not looking for what we're looking for, which is anything that will give us some indication of Nola Madison's presence.
And what happened to the first principle?
Okay, so I don't have such an open mind, but I truly believe she was here.
Too bad the doorman can't confirm that.
Well, he was new on the job. You can't expect him to recognize anybody.
Yeah, I guess if Nola was going to come up here and bash in Margot's head, she sure wouldn't leave her real name downstairs.
Well, she could have used a stage name.
Of course. Why didn't we think about that before? She could have called herself Nola Patterson.
Hey, how about this? Found it behind a bar. Maybe it belongs to Nola.
Yeah, I wonder how we go about finding that out. Maybe we can just call Mrs. Madison and ask her what shade of lipstick she wears.
I doubt Nola Madison would leave a tube of lipstick here. Besides, it doesn't look like hers. She wouldn't wear this shade.
Now I know why we need female detectives.
Does anybody have a feeling that this is hopeless?
Oh, come on, Steve, don't say that. Besides, what else can we do?
Well, we could give Mrs. Madison this degree. Just kidding.
Right now, we don't have the right to question this woman about anything. This case is officially closed.
Listen, guys, pretty soon we're going to have to go 2,000 miles if we want to talk to Nola Madison.
What do you mean?
She's going to be leaving pretty soon.
No kidding.
Yes, she and Elliot both are leaving Monticello.
That's right. Poor Draper's going to be on the train leaving for prison.
Yeah, well, that's going to help us out a lot. I mean, if we do find something incriminating, we won't even be able to ask her about it.
Yeah, if we find something.
Steve, will you please stop being so discouraged? And we got to have hope about this thing. We've got to go with this as far as we can.
Maybe we already have. I mean, look, what do we have on Nola anyway? The possibility that it wasn't her outside your apartment that night. The possibility that she paid Rachel Barnes off to get her out of town. The possibility that she was in this apartment the night that Margot was assaulted.
Well, whoever did it from this spot right here. I mean, they took that poker, they hit her on the head, and then did what?
They left because Draper was coming up on the elevator.
Yeah, but left how?
God, I wish I knew. The only other way out is that way.
It's right back to the beginning, doesn't it? Here's something. I would like to go take a look in Margot's bedroom.
What for?
I don't know yet.
God, what a depressing sight. I hate moving days.
I've always thought of you as a wanderer, Elliot. You should be used to traveling.
I always traveled light and never moved around with crates and boxes. You know, Noel, I still can't understand this rush you're in. This terrible urgency to leave town.
Look, we've talked about leaving 100 times. We've talked about the absolute necessity of living in Hollywood for the sake of your brilliant career, if not of mine.
My brilliant career. At this point, I'm not even sure that my one and only movie is ever going to be seen by the public.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. Owen assures me it's going to be distributed. He's also promised me a video cassette of the film. Just hope he keeps his promise.
He said he was returning to the coast as well?
Yes, we're all leaving. Some of us separately, some of us together. Or are we together, Elliot?
How can you even ask such a question, Nola?
Because I'm no longer sure of the answer. Because it seems painfully obvious that you don't want to follow all these crates and boxes to Hollywood.
It's not that I don't want to go, Nola. It's just that I'm not happy with this inordinate haste.
All right. If you must know, there is a reason.
Well, at last.
Look, I'm worried about something, Elliot. I can't help it. I'm worried by the threat that man made when he was here. Chief Mallory.
What threat?
Oh, it's about this practical joke I played on Deborah Saxon. It was only a joke, of course, and completely harmless, but she is a police officer. And the police are very touchy about anything that affects one of their own.
Yeah, but seeing there was no crime committed.
Oh, you can be sure Chief Mallory will invent a crime if he has to. He'll find something illegal about what I did. And the consequences might be very unpleasant.
I see. So, what it amounts to is that you're running away.
Look, we were going to leave sooner or later, weren't we? The trip was planned long ago, Elliot. Our trip, our new life in California, our new beginning.
Our new beginning.
What are you thinking about?
California.
Are you sure?
Thinking about all those Hollywood rolls that will start rolling in.
You weren't thinking about her?
Who?
You know who. That black bird of unhappiness that decided to fly back into your life.
Not into my life. She has never been a part of my life. You're a part of my life. And that's what you're gonna stay, if the police don't get you first.
Don't say that. It isn't fun. It just isn't.
Weather for a train ride to nowhere. I'm glad it's a rotten day. So I get to go to prison on a nice sunny day. Sunshine today would be too ironic. Sergeant, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Something about you that's been bothering me and my wife for the last couple of weeks.
About me?
Yeah. You were in that courtroom every day.
Well, I had an interest in the case. Among other things, I was the first witness for the prosecution. Not that I wanted it that way.
Yeah. You were the first investigating officer, too. I mean, not that you wanted to do that.
That's right.
But your testimony was finished in 10 minutes. I mean, you could have gotten off a stand and left, never come back. But you did come back. Every day till I was convicted. What are you, some sort of courtroom buff?
I try to stay out of those places unless I just can't help it. The truth is, I wanted to find out how it all came out. The trial, the verdict, you know.
No, I don't think I did.
I kept thinking that something was going to happen. Some new revelation, some clue that the police found. A new witness. Maybe even a confession from somebody.
Afraid it didn't turn out that way, did it? Real easy case for the prosecution. No new defense witnesses, no new defense evidence. Nice and simple. Nice straight lines, Sergeant. Led right here. To these.
Well, I didn't believe you did it, Mr. Scott.
What?
No, I know it's none of my business. I'm just a cop. I wasn't on the jury, and I'm sure no judge, but I just couldn't believe you did it.
Thanks, Sergeant. I really appreciate that.
The name's Sam.
Sam. It's nice to know that somebody in that courtroom, besides my family and friends, thought I was innocent. You know, I'm not so sure about them anymore.
I wasn't very happy about testifying for the prosecution. I did what I was told. It was my job. And I'm afraid I didn't help you very much with what I had to say about what that penthouse looked like after I got there.
It wasn't your fault, Sam. You just told them the facts. The facts were wrong. I didn't kill Margo, and I don't know who did. God, I certainly don't know how they did it.
Yeah, I know. That's what you said. But what you didn't say meant more to me. You didn't make up any stories. You didn't say anything about some mysterious figure moving around that penthouse. In fact, you didn't say anything that could even remotely be considered an alibi. I guess that's why I just could never believe that you did it.
Should have called you as a witness for the defense.
Yeah, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to help you very much there either. I couldn't explain what happened in there. I just kept hoping that something would turn up. I kept watching you. Well, you and your wife. I could see that she was going to have a baby, but the way things looked, her father wasn't going to be around when she had it.
We had the baby, Sam. It's a little girl. So tiny. I couldn't believe so small. Beautiful. Beautiful little girl. Her name's Julia. I wonder when I'll see her again.
Ridiculous. We've gone through every drawer, every box, every closet. I don't even know what we're looking for.
I just wish we had an inventory of the things that Margo had.
What good would that do?
It's the only way you can find out if something is missing is if you know what that something is.
What something are you talking about?
Do you get the feeling that Detective Saxon is holding out on us just a little?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
No, I'm not holding out on you guys. It's just that I had a wild idea about something and I just want to try to prove it.
Just what wild idea do you have in mind? Wait a minute, what's this? Huh. It's empty. Looks like a hat box.
No, it's not a hat box.
Well, looks like a hat box.
No, but it says Mystique.
Yeah, so what's that?
Mystique is a hairdressing salon on Winthrop Boulevard. Very expensive place.
Well, maybe they started selling very expensive hats.
Yeah, but it's empty. Was Margo Dorn wearing a hat that night?
No, she wasn't.
Maybe it's been sent out to be cleaned.
No, if you send a hat out to be cleaned, you'd put it in the box. And besides, I don't think Margo ever wore a hat.
Yeah, so how do we explain the box?
Well, it's not a hat box, Calvin. And I don't think Mystique has started making hats. They do make something else. They make wigs.
Oh,
Nicole, hello, it's Deborah Saxon. Deborah, hi. I didn't want to disturb April, but I've got an important question to ask her about her mother.
April is asleep. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, yeah, I guess you can answer this question just as well as April could. It's about her mother, and you did work with her.
Yeah.
Listen, Nicole, do you ever remember Margo wearing a wig?
A wig? Yes, she did, as a matter of fact, sometimes. Not very often, but, you know, sometimes when she had an appointment and didn't have time.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
Well, why do you ask? Is it important?
I'm not really sure yet. Nicole, the first thing I've got to do is find out where the wig is.
Oh, you mean it's missing?
Yes. Now, it might be down at the hairdresser's getting rolled up or washed or whatever it is people do with wigs, but on the other hand, it might be missing. Stolen. Thanks a lot. I'll let you know what's going to happen. Bye.
Stop raining. The river out there looks like it's going to overflow its banks.